Hello, everyone. Welcome to Baobab Chats, where we bring you different kind of topics. Today it's a Saturday, and we have decided to bring you a topic: surviving in the pandemic. And under the Baobab tree, I'm joined with two ladies. I've got Jay all the way from Cape Town, and I've got Tendai all the way from Warsaw. And today we have decided to discuss about this pandemic. I mean, we know everyone is talking about COVID-19, and it's not doing well in wherever we are. So I've brought these ladies just to have a discussion to find out how are we surviving with this pandemic and what measures are we taking. I'll start with Jay, and Jay in Cape Town. How is Cape Town, and how are you surviving this pandemic?
Hello, everybody, and thanks for having me, Lyndon. Cape Town is very temperamental with the weather. We thought it was going to be storming in the week, and no, it's Cape Town. How am I surviving the pandemic? One day at a time. I think like all the things that usually keeps me sane have sort of ramped up, and that's like just staying in touch with people and trying to use the time to or trying to use the silence, because there's a lot of silence going around because you're not able to go out and engage in a lot of activities. So those are the things that's been really useful to me. I'm sure a lot of those things will still come up as we chat.
Oh, yes. Tendai is in Poland, in Warsaw. And can you just give us a brief of how things are going that side? I mean, we haven't heard much news about Poland. How are you guys surviving, and what's going on there?
Okay, hi everyone. I'm Tendai, and it's just difficult to think that we've been in this for 1 year now, and from March we've been like experiencing lockdowns. I haven't gone to the office since March. I've been working from home. My daughter having school at home, and at some point in March, April, in June, we thought the first wave is gone and things opened up a bit, only to experience it twice as hard in the second wave. But yeah, we're now used to, we're living with it, and we're getting ourselves ready each and every time for what's coming. So it hasn't been easy, but manageable. We know we need to follow the rules and everything. So yeah, we're still in it.
Yeah. Talking about following the rules, I mean, we have seen the surge now is actually getting more and more, especially here in South Africa. As much as we are being taught about these things every day, about COVID-19, mask up, everything, but the pandemic is still surging, and more people are getting killed, and the numbers are getting high. Where are we getting it wrong? I mean, Jay, where are we getting it wrong?
I mean, that's a very loaded question because there's lots of pockets that's responsible for making sure that we survive this, and that it's not doing as much damage as it has up until this point. But I think, like, as an individual, a lot of what I'm experiencing at the moment is that it's a bit of fatigue. So it's like you go through the process, and all of the levels, and then all of the restrictions attached to it. The numbers go down, and you start having a little bit of hope, and you're like, maybe things are going to normalize a little bit, and then it's like you're just like right back to square one. So I think, like, even for me, like it's feeling a little bit of fatigue of just like this experience, and not really being able to attach to a lot of like tangible hope, I guess,
Yes.
of like of it potentially getting better, and you know, all of those things. And so I think like that's how I'm feeling, and I'm guessing that's maybe how a lot of other people are feeling. For me, it's easier to sort of abide by the rules. I've got a very comfortable house, place where I stay. I've got access to the internet, and I can entertain my time in other ways. And a lot of people don't have those options, and I guess sometimes that makes them potentially a little bit more vulnerable and open to then maybe floating the rules or whatever you want to call it. But it's tough. It's really, really tough.
Yeah, it's tough. Yeah. Tendai, your response to that?
What was the question again? What did you ask?
I was saying, I mean, as much as we are being responsible, as much as we are doing everything right, I mean, where are we getting it wrong? Because it seems like the COVID is not getting down. It's not giving up on us. So where are we getting it wrong?
Okay. Where I am, people are actually doing what they are supposed to be doing, and fortunately, the numbers are showing. So people don't go out when it's not necessary. People keep distance. People wear masks. People do whatever they are asked to do. And I think from December, we've seen numbers going down. So I think because there are rules, if people try to follow those rules religiously, I'm quite sure results will show. Because during Christmas time, everything was closed. We only had 2 weeks to do Christmas shopping. And after that, everything was closed again. So I feel like people are getting it wrong because they are not taking this thing as serious. And if they actually follow the rules, we'll be able to we'll be moving towards a better situation. And if people start following the rules, numbers start going down, people should maintain, not to be already happy that it seems better and then we go back, because we're going to relapse again. So I think where people is not following what they're supposed to.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I mean, because I'm talking of in here in South Africa, where things were getting better, like what Jay said earlier on, and then we kind of relaxed and we started doing what we were doing before, and all of a sudden the numbers started to shoot again, and it didn't look nice, and it's still not looking very nice. And now we are in the situation where we need to educate each and everyone, you know, and in your communities, wherever you are. I mean, are you guys talking about it, or it's just like, okay, one man for himself, and whatever happens to them is them? How are we doing to spread this awareness, to everyone? Is there anything that we're doing as individuals, or we're just waiting for the government to do something on behalf of us? We see every time on WhatsApp statuses, people are just talking about something else, not really about COVID, because there's other people that still don't understand this COVID. You know, there's still those remote areas where people don't even understand what's going on. They will just say, okay, it's something that is happening in the towns there. And Jay, are you doing anything to help the communities, to help each other?
I think like it's a very you can do stuff in your individual capacity. Like I'm like obsessively on my mother, for example. My mother's like over 60, and my mother's got all the old people vibes. Like you can tell her something, and then she's like, "Is it really so? Is it really that bad?" And you know, all of those things.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of sort of information that I have to filter and explain to her in a different way that she might not get it, like with how the communication around the virus is coming through. And I don't think anybody is not speaking about the virus and like what's happening around the pandemic. So I think there's even when I was working with some young people last year, like what they were saying is like they do a similar thing. So at home, it's like they've got access to the internet and they're on Facebook and they see all of the news and the information. and they share around their communities, especially for the older people and people that might not be literate and all of those things. So in my capacity, it's just like in my circles and where I have sort of influence. And that's sort of as far as I'm going in my personal capacity, besides the component of work.
Oh, okay. That's very good. Tendai, are you doing anything, or are you just looking after your daughter and the people that are next to you, next door to you? Are you phoning the people in Africa to tell them, guys, this thing is real? We have seen a lot of people, they were saying, no, before, remember when it started, people were saying, okay, I know this thing is only for a Chinese thing and it's American thing, but now it's really hitting hard, and now it's really hitting the people that are close to us, the people that we know. That's when we're starting to wake up now. And are we doing enough? And what are we doing to help our people, our relatives, our friends?
Okay. It said that you noted that people thought it was a China thing or an America thing. It took some people to lose their dear loved ones to see that this thing is affecting everyone, and it's something that you need to. It can happen to anyone actually. So what I've been doing on my part is just to tell people the situation, especially back home, to tell people the situation, how it's going here. Because in the first wave, it was kind of, would say 300 people died, and then it seems as if, oh, it's 300 and I don't know those people. But in the second wave, like 50,000, you would be really scared to walk outside the door. And the way everything was shut, and the way people were dying, it called for, I mean, at some point I was feeling very, very sad and scared that I'm all alone here, what's going to happen. So I constantly used to share with my family how it's going here, at least to give a reflection that anything can happen, and numbers can rise from 300 today to 50,000 tomorrow, because we experienced that in this country. So I used to call my family and friends to say, please don't go out, don't travel, don't go for funerals, don't go to church. There are other options, how you can fellowship, how you can mix with other people. So I try to reach out a little bit, using the community I am as an example with what I was seeing, like the numbers and stuff. It's really difficult to get to people, but we can at least try.
Yeah.
So
you raised an important point there, Tendai, where you said, the older people, our parents, when they go for funerals and gatherings, you tell them, no, you can't do that anymore. They tell you, no. I know that person. I have to be there. We grew up together. Oh, she was so nice to me, and all those things. And you can't really, stop them. But now they are seeing it, and some of them, they are so ignorant. They're still saying, okay, as much as this can be there, no, it won't get me. It's other people's thing. Jay, what have you been telling your mother? I mean, she's over 60, and she's one of those persons who wants to also visit and who wants to visit the families. What have you been telling her? Well, has she been listening?
Well, I've been lucky for the most part. She's been sort of obeying the rules and not going out as much as she used to. But I think it's also like it's easier sometimes for us to say that as a younger generation. Because we don't have attached the same value to it, also depending on your culture and all of those things. But I mean, funerals have been a big thing. We really recently had a passing in our family, and my uncle passed away from COVID. And I was just like, I can't, my mother can't go, but this is her cousin, and it's someone that she grew up with. And there's, all of the closure and all of the stuff that's attached to attending someone's funeral. When it comes to how we sort of view the world and all of those things. So it was difficult, but I had to just explain to my mother, these are the risks, and I really I don't think it's worth it, and maybe there's other ways to get closure and maybe to support the family and such. But it's a very, very difficult conversation. And I know a lot of people struggle with that. And it just doesn't, it's just difficult to comprehend that you can no longer have that at for however long it's still going to be like this. So yeah, it requires a lot of patience.
Yeah. I was having a conversation with someone the other day, and they were saying there are still some places in other countries, like where it's so remote that when you talk about COVID, they will just laugh at you and say, "Oh, no, that thing hasn't come here." And he was suggesting that we actually need to do something, just to educate people, because when it comes, it will wipe everyone. It will wipe everyone. Your take on that, Tendai?
Yeah, it's very difficult. Like in places where it hasn't, we need to educate each other as much as possible, even in those remote places. I don't know how we can do it. We can reach out. Somebody can go and reach out and say that this is happening, but I don't know. Maybe we just need to, if it means doing flyers, doing whatever, anyways that can reach them, even if it means talking to the local, chiefs or something in the places that are so remote. Because with these things, it's all about the information that is available to you. So we can try to reach out, I don't know, Facebook, radio stations, word of mouth, whatever possible thing that we can do would be good too.
Yeah. One thing that I've noted also, and with concern, that a lot of people are putting on masks, but not the right way. A lot of people are carrying sanitizers, but they're not using it. They have the masks, but the mask is just here on the chin. And what does it help? And looking into the public transport, that's where our biggest concern is. Jay, I think you've noted this. If you ever approach someone to say, okay, you're not wearing the mask the right way, or you just say, okay, that's their own thing, let them go, they will die. Have you ever?
Well, not like that harsh, but I think it's very, very sensitive. Like, because you think it's something as simple as a mask, but you see all over social media how people are just saying like you have to wear a mask is something that like offends the whole everything. Like, don't tell me what to do, and all of those things. So for me, it's been very interesting to observe how people respond to something seemingly like really, really simple. But I think I've also had to exercise a lot of patience, because for me, it's logic. Like you put the mask on, you minimize your risk of contracting the virus, and you minimize the risk for the people around you. It's as simple as that. But not everyone thinks logically, and everyone's got different filters. So no, I would be really scared to walk up to someone and go like, "My guy, you must wear your mask properly," or like whatever, because you just don't know how the person is going to respond. But sometimes it also, because you understand the risk, it also gets a little bit annoying when you like walk around in certain spaces and you see people not doing it. But it's a whole shift of mind, and for some people it just happens faster than others. But I think it helps that it's mandated, and like by law you have to do it, so a lot more people are doing it. Now we must just move on to everybody doing it the right way, step by step things.
I like what Herbert said here on YouTube. He said COVID is only real when it's close to you. COVID is only real when it's within or close to the people you know, which is true. People only say, "Oh, okay, this is COVID," when they see someone close to them either sick or dying with it, which it's something that is real. I've seen people saying, "Okay, I know there's no COVID, it's only for those people." But now when it comes to your doorstep, or when it comes to within the community, that's when you start to realize, "Oh no, this thing is real." Tendai?
Sorry, I dropped off a little bit, but
all right. Now I was saying, Yebet just posted to say, COVID is only real when it's within or close to the people you know. And if it's close to the people just ignore, and they'll just move on. And I do agree with Herbert, because I mean, a lot of people have been so ignorant, and they say there's nothing like that. But we have seen it, and we have seen it. It's hitting hard. I'm just your contribution on that.
We make it seem as if it's real when it's it only comes real when it's people close to us. But why do we have to wait until we lose a loved one for us to wake up? I mean, we could do better there. It only becomes real like that because we are trying to run away from reality. People are dying. Of course, in news, reading what you see this, but it's very selfish of us, I think, to have that notion, to think that it's real when we are losing people close to us. Nobody wants to lose a loved one. I mean, in any situation. So I think we could do more there by just following what we need to do, what we need to do, so that we protect our loved ones already, so that it doesn't hit close to us.
Yes. Jay, you wanna add on something there?
Yeah, I think it's also sometimes it's difficult. All of it is difficult to just comprehend, and a lot of people I know when it started, I was looking at it and I'm like, after like maybe a month or two into lockdown, I was like, is this like reality? Like it feels like a movie that we are living in. And so it's and sometimes it's easier to just detach yourself from it because it's also so traumatic. I was speaking to someone the other day, and I was saying to her, I don't know if secondary trauma is like a real thing, but like that's what I feel like. So it's not to someone. So every day you look on social media or on your WhatsApp or whatever, you hear a story of someone who's passed away. So you just get hit by it from all angles all the time. If you are a mother and you've got children at school, it's like thinking about how is this going to affect my kids when school starts up again, and like all of these different scenarios, like the risk it's to get into public transport, to go to work, and all of those things. So I can understand how some people would want to just detach from the reality of it sometimes. But we also know that we actually can't get away with it because we don't do these things, then people are literally going to die. And that's the reality.
Yeah,
So,
that's really true. Yeah. And also one other thing that I noticed when it comes to this pandemic, a lot of people just also like to, like follow the protocols only when they see someone, a loved one dying or died. That's when they try to, that washi comment there. People tend to follow social distancing and masking up when they see their loved ones die due to the corona, instead of preventing it now and stopping the spread, which is true. And people only wake up. You said it earlier. People only wake up when something bad happens instead of preventing, because they say preventing is better than cure. Do you agree with me?
I mean, a lot of it is just human nature, really. I think the communication that's come through and the way actually people have taken personal responsibility to actually also like educate people around them. Because I think there's also like a lot of misinformation that went around in the beginning, around COVID, around the protocols, and around all of the rules that the government has put in place. So there's all of that people need to filter through until they actually realize that this is a real thing. So we must also keep that in mind.
Yes, that's true. Yeah. Today I was just saying, someone posted on YouTube to say people tend to mask up and do all this social distance and follow the social distance and masking up when they see their loved ones die due to the corona, instead of preventing it now and stopping the spread. And what's your comment on this?
Like I said before, I think people just need to change the mindset. Isn't they say prevention is better than cure? And here we're not even saying prevention is better than cure. We're saying prevention is better than death,
Yeah.
because we have time thinking about cure. So, I mean, at least we're having these conversations. If we keep having these conversations, maybe people will be able to realize that you're just not masking up because the government wants you to. You're masking up because you need to protect each other. With people, we need to protect our loved ones. We need to protect ourselves. And the hospital world, and this thing is not good. So I wish people could just follow what they are supposed to do. Social distance, mask. Don't even go out if you don't want to mask up. Don't even put yourself in positions at risk, because, like I said earlier, here people were kind of like protesting against masks and restrictions, but at some point it really hit that okay, everyone. Right. The other day I was out and it was a public holiday. There was nobody on the streets. Like, I was confused. Am I lost or something? It was just dead quiet. And in the supermarket, it kind of seems like people are scared to even go next to each other. Nobody wants to go close. And if you are just touching without gloves, the next person will look at you and be like, "Are you serious?" So I think we really need to take this really, really serious. Mask up, because we know we are protecting ourselves and our family. We are fighting against death, against, losing our loved ones. So
Yeah.
we could change our mindset a bit there.
Yeah, which is something that we want, like you said, where people are scared now, and then they really practice social distancing, and the problem is people are doing that. People are not educating other people. They say, "Ah, no, 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 it's fine." Like, for example, my friend comes to my place, because they are at my place, and then we do this hugging thing. We're used to that, and it's something that we can't really stop. It's still difficult. We are trying, but still difficult. And are you facing the same challenge, Jay, where you see your friends, you see your loved one, but you can't really do what you used to do? You need to embrace when someone comes, or just saying hi. You feel like you're being rude. You feel like you didn't greet the person enough. Also, putting in mind that there is a virus, there is a monster out there, invisible monster, that can ruin the whole of your life. The next day, both of you are gone. Are you facing the same challenges, Jay?
Well, I'm a bit of an introvert, so I'm not like a hugger by nature. So that hasn't been difficult for me at all. But I know that I know friends of mine who are like very affectionate, and that like really, really took like a long time for them to like adjust. And it's something that you miss if that's something that you used to and something that you value as well. But I think also like one of the things that I've been trying to do when it comes to how other people behave is I only have control over my own space and my own behavior. So, and setting my own boundaries as well. So I won't, for example, go to a party or like go to a gathering, even if it's like not a big group of people, because I don't think that's the best thing to do right now for me. Or like, not going to the shop, or like, all of those things. But some people are fine and they're willing to take that risk. And like, it's easy to judge and go like, whatever, but that takes a lot of energy. So it's like understanding like what are your boundaries, doing the best that you can, and educate where you can, but also understand that people are individuals and they will judge these things the way they want to. Luckily, like it's a law that you have to wear a mask, so no one can get away from that now, in our country at least. And the stores and all of those places are like practicing social distance. And we're obviously in this lockdown, which minimizes interaction. But it's very, very tricky. Lots of people just having to go against their very nature in order to stay safe.
Yeah, that's a mouthful there, Jay. Someone was saying, I mean, okay, we let's leave this uh spreading the word thing and just talk about the people. How are they treating this virus? I mean, in terms of the medicine that they're using. I mean, the things that they're using to protect it. I mean, some are using the natural herbs, and they're saying they're working. Some are saying, okay, let's do the vitamin C, let's do this. Tendai, how are you? Are you doing natural herbs as well? And how are they recommending it?
No, unfortunately, oh, nothing about the natural herbs here. I think the only thing is that we were told to up our vitamin, our we always do because of the winter. You know, it's very cold, and we're always encouraged to up the vitamin intake. But I'm not against the natural herbs, but we need to sometimes be more objective to thinking, because if we have this thing of steaming and it's working, but I think we need to check where we are. Like sometimes someone is really ill, is really, you can see this, they are not doing well, okay, at all. You need to take them to the doctor. I mean, we can't all be specialists in medicine, and I think it's good to take the natural herbs. I like to take garlic, ginger when I have a flu. At some point, we need to just consult with the specialists in medicine. I mean, I don't know. I don't think I want to say, but I think we need to be objective. We need to weigh how it's going and how's the situation like. We can't keep in the house they're using whatever we're using. I mean, this is my thinking.
Jay, your take on this?
That's not something that I've like necessarily been exposed to personally. But I've obviously read on social media some people advocating for certain things.
Yeah.
And I mean, I will also like the same thing, like try and be objective and follow like the experts and what the experts are saying. And there's obviously also experts in natural medicine. So, you know, there's but people, it's having information out there and having some real conversations and having an openness, I think also to an alternative view. Because some people are really like, they believe what they believe about certain things. So yeah, no, I on that one I don't have a lot to say. I also just stick to my vitamins because I'm able to. But yeah,
Yeah, because I think people are using the natural herbs and they're saying they're working. The reason why, because I mean they're still waiting for the vaccine that is not coming, and or that will come sometime. By the time it comes, maybe all of us will be wiped. So you might just use the natural herbs. I mean, people are using different things, and some of these herbs are working. I mean, so why not using them? Why not using them? Anyway, so the other thing that I wanted to touch on is okay, financially, we know a lot of people have had bad times financially. This is we're now talking about the whole year. Some of them haven't been going to work, and people have been struggling. And are we doing enough for our relatives, our families? I mean, to support these people, because at the end of the day, um, they will need us. They will need our support. Not just the information about COVID, but also financially. You know, or emotionally, where we come for them. We are there for them and helping them. Tendai, are you taking your part in that regard?
Okay, I feel like this is the time really we need to send a hand and an extra ear towards our relatives, I think it's good. We need to, sometimes we think, somebody's asking for help, but now I think we need to put an extra ear. If somebody needs help financially, I think it's a good time to step in, help, because in my own personal experience, I have lots of cousins and friends that are working in the hospitality industry, and they have not been to work for like 10 months. And so I think we need to really step in and help each other, um, as much as possible. I have a friend in Johannesburg. She was suffering from COVID for 2 weeks, and her employer pays her only by commission. So it means those 2 weeks she was in hospital, she didn't have any income coming in. So we had to step in as a group of friends and give her something. I think we really, really need to be considerate, check up on our relatives and friends. Are they okay? Do they have what they need? We all don't have enough, but I'm sure we can just ourselves to help, especially now that financially some people are really, really not doing well. So
true, yeah.
some people were still working from home and no salary cuts whatsoever. So I think we really, really need to extend our hand, giving, and do as much as we can for our friends and relatives. Yeah.
Yes, and it's not only our relatives, even the orphanage places, they've been struggling a lot in terms of getting, all the stuff they need. Trey, what can we do? What can we do to help these guys, these people? I mean, even the orphanage. I know our family and friends, we're doing our best to help, but we are also forgetting the other part of our people where the orphanage are being affected much about this by this pandemic. Are we doing enough, Jay? Or what do we need to do?
I think there's lots of opportunities to help. I mean, obviously, like this pandemic has just, particularly in South Africa, really exposed to a lot more people just how unequal society is, and how skewed things are in terms of income and all of those things. And there's also, I work in the NGO space, so like I see like a lot of how a lot of different organizations are struggling to keep going under these circumstances, because obviously budgets have shrunk, and normal people who would have contributed to their causes are not able to at this time, and all of those things. So I think it's like these simple things, like I got a call from Meals on Wheels the other day, and they support a particular section of society. And it was, for me, it's like a thing, easy, okay, like this is what I can contribute every month, in order to make my contribution at the end of the day. So I think it's like checking like what causes you can tap into. And sometimes you feel like I can't afford it, but it's actually not that, sometimes it's actually not that expensive. It's maybe money you would have spent on luxuries for the week that can actually feed another person for a week, literally. So it's to just think about it in that way as well.
Yeah. All right. Now that's a good one. Thank you so much. And I like the idea where he says it's not only about money. It's even some of the things that you can do or you can take from your house, and some of the extras that I see Stanford there saying thank you, Jay. Some of these things that you're not using. I mean, just keeping. We need to stretch a helping hand and know that as much as we are in the pandemic, a lot of people still need help in terms of financials, in terms of physical help, emotional help. Some of the people that are dying, they are not suffering from COVID, but they are suffering from the I mean, they don't have anything. They're thinking too much. They don't have anything. They lost their jobs. The company's closed. So we need to be there emotionally, support them, financially support them. And Tendai, before we leave, your parting shots. What are your words to the world?
My words are that we need to really be supportive. It can happen to anyone. It can affect anyone. and we need to appreciate each other even more, and we should also take lessons from this time that we're going through, to be there for each other, to support each other mentally. And you know, I have lost a cousin. I have had a friend who suffered like mental health issues during this COVID. So I really understand how bad it is, and I wish everybody else could understand that this is really something that is huge, and we need to take our part. We need to answer that call. Just speak to someone, hear whatever they need to say. Just open your heart. Just do what you're supposed to do and be supportive. There are online websites there are online platforms where you can actually sign up just to talk to someone from all over the world. I mean, you can just do that in the comfort of your home. Just be there and be supportive. I could say so much more about this, but I would just say, let's just be supportive. Let's follow the rules. Let's just know that it affects anyone and it can happen everywhere. So let's just be careful.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Tendai. Mask up, talk to someone, say something good, and you know, be supportive. Tendai said it. Jay, your parting shot?
I was speaking to a group of matriculants last year, and I was saying to them that even though this year, 2020 was such a difficult, unprecedented, hate that word, year, it was just horrible for a lot of people. We mustn't forget that this is not the first type of difficulty that we face as individuals. That we've got a capacity to overcome a lot of difficult things, and we've done it before and we can do it again. So I would encourage everybody to just like tap into that person that has overcome like a whole lot of different things, and remember that you have what it takes to make it to the other side of this.
Oh wow! Thank you so much, Jay. This is what we need. I mean, we need people to be supportive. We need people to be supported in any way. That's the reason why we come under the Baobab tree and discuss about these things. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us today. Thank you so much, Jay. Thank you so much, Tendai, and for taking your time to come and discuss and teach other people about this pandemic. We know we can do more. We can do more. And we are not limited to helping. Wherever we are, we can help around our communities, our families. Let's be there for them. Let's help. Let's be supportive. And thank you so much, guys. And thank you so much to the people who are watching. We'll see you again in the next episode from Baobab Chats. I say goodbye for now.